This here is the Yoga Slim 7 Pro X. Unless you live in the States, then it's the Lenovo Slim 7 Pro X. Anyway, this thing is a beast, and it's not really that large, which I think is the perfect combination. I'm so picky when it comes to laptops because some of them are just too large, too bulky, battery life is either crap while you're gaming, or it's just not portable enough for me, right? It's too bulky, I can't fit it in my backpack. It's like carrying a cinder block everywhere you go. Other laptops are just too small and too weak. To be frank, they don't pack enough punch for what I like to do every day, and that's content create and occasionally game. So the Yoga brand is no longer about convertibility. It used to be you could flip these screens all the way around and turn them into tablets of sorts, but this change here signifies that these laptops have become more premium and more powerful. So what's this thing packing, you ask? Try AMD's 6nm 6800HS. You can actually spec this up to a 6900HS. This one has 8 cores and 16 threads with a 35-watt TDP. It's an absolute beast of a chip. You can spec it with either 16 or 32 gigs of ultra-fast DDR5 memory, and either a 512 gig or 1 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe SSD. This Yoga has what they're calling a comfort edge design, which means that the edges and the corners have all been smoothed out and rounded in many places. You've got a nice aluminum construction here, but a lot of times with some other laptops, the edges will kind of dig into your skin. This is much more comfortable to hold in the hand. A bit more on ergonomics, you'll find 2 front-firing 2-watt speakers. These are Harman speakers, and they sound incredible. They lack a tad in the basses, but they're very clear, very crisp, and I love, again, that they're top firing, so you don't have to worry about where the laptop is sitting. You'll see this trackpad here is just, it's so enormous, and I love that. So much real estate. It is a springboard style trackpad, so you can click on either side to register clicks. It's a very large, smooth, and just very easy to use trackpad. I love it, but it doesn't compromise at all on the size of the keyboard, the use of the keys. The key spacing seems great. I love the tactile feedback on this keyboard. It is so usable, just a very versatile all-arounder in my opinion. And overall, you can just tell that they spend a ton of time improving the aesthetics and the quality, the construction of this unit. It is so nice to hold. It feels super premium, very compact, and again, it's not very large. So let's talk about this display, because this was the first thing that caught my eye. When I first opened this laptop up, I was in awe with how crisp and how clean the picture on this panel looks. This, mind you, is just an engineering sample. It's not even a full production unit yet, so I imagine some of the smaller, especially software kinks, will be worked out by the time these do reach the shelves and you can buy one. But as it is just, it is so beautiful. And there's a lot more than meets the eye here. While the picture and the color is spectacular, you also get a super smooth image thanks to a 120 Hz variable refresh rate. You'll notice the screen is a bit taller than usual, and that's because this uses a 16:10 aspect ratio instead of 16:9, which is what your average TV today uses. That means you have a bit more vertical real estate, so you can see a bit more on screen, especially in some suites like Adobe Premiere Pro, let's say, Photoshop. Having that extra space means that you can pack more into a single window. But if you're not happy with that, there's plenty of peripherals on the sides to help you out. Off to one side, you'll find a USB Type-A port, a unified microphone headphone jack, and a camera kill switch, which I think is awesome. Of course, the power button is over here as well with a flashing LED. It'll let you know if your battery is running low or not. And up to the other side, another USB Type-A port, which is awesome. You don't see too many laptops with these anymore, but they are still widely used, as well as 2 Type-C ports. Now these are good for up to DisplayPort 1.4 out, which means you can adapt multiple displays to this laptop, turn it into an awesome workstation. And speaking of workstations, back to this screen, if you want to use this laptop as a standalone powerhouse, let's say for video editing in Premiere Pro, which I do quite a bit of when I'm out of the office, this screen has 100% sRGB color space and color volume, which means it doesn't matter how bright or dim your screen is, it will still retain that 100% sRGB color space, which is pretty freaking awesome. Oh, and another thing, this display has built-in G-Sync. Yeah, taking advantage of it is an RTX 3050 baked inside. So yes, you have a discrete graphics processor in here, which is awesome, again, for Adobe accelerated products. I'm gonna love this in Premiere Pro, that's for sure. CUDA acceleration will be epic. So that working in tandem with the 6800HS from AMD just means you've got an all-around beast of a portable laptop. And that's the void these new Yoga laptops are trying to fill. That space where, very large laptops would be very good at video editing, but they're not very portable. And oftentimes when you squeeze squeeze these down into such small footprints, you have to compromise on power, because how else do you cram all this in here? A big part of that, again, is the 6800HS, a very efficient 35-watt TDP chip from AMD. I imagine this wouldn't be possible without a chip like this in this small package. We can't forget about the 1080p webcam. It is located above the screen. I wanted to show you what this looks like, also allow you to listen to what it sounds like. There are dual microphones, good for active noise cancellation, so it should be plenty good for conference calls. If you have kids running around the house, that gets pretty old, right? So those should help out there. It's not, you know, the crispiest 1080p footage, of course not. It's a laptop grade 1080p webcam, but it is one nonetheless. You can see it's got the 16:9 aspect, and I think it's pretty smooth. Right? Given what we're working with here, a very thin profile there for the panel itself that the camera needs to fit into. I think this is great. Oh, and remember, this does come with a camera kill switch off to the right, so if you just flip that switch, it'll completely shut off the camera at a hardware level, which is great for those who are concerned about security. And I suppose while we're on the subject, I'll go ahead and give you a sample of speaker quality here. I'm talking through the shotgun mic mounted atop this camera, by the way, about 2 feet away from the deck. Remember, you have 2 front-firing speakers, one on the right and one here on the left. Here we go. Go max volume now. I'm really looking forward to showing you guys what this laptop can do. Specific numbers, those are coming in a separate video here within a few weeks. I'm very excited to just reveal all. The combination here is epic, and again, in such a small laptop, you wouldn't really think it was capable of such a thing. Lenovo X-Power helps out here as well. It's essentially custom performance tuning. It allows you to get the most out of your laptop. If you're in it for long battery life, you could certainly pull that off here, not only thanks to the combination of hardware, but the software tuning that X-Power gives you. And if you're in it for more power, more performance, that is certainly doable as well. There is a 70 watt-hour battery baked into this, which I think is pretty impressive given the footprint of this laptop, so it should last plenty long while gaming. Speaking of gaming, there is also a built-in mux switch if you're interested, so it'll give you more direct access to the discrete graphics processor. Great for gaming, great for frame rates, essentially. Unfortunately, I can't show you specific numbers. I can't show you much more than what we've already talked about to date, because this is an engineering sample, and it's not technically representative of the product you'll be able to buy on shelves in a few weeks. But I at least hope I've amped you up a bit, gotten you excited for a new laptop that I think, again, is filling a massive void in the portable laptop space. This is powerful enough to be its own standalone workstation, and I would, without a doubt, in a heartbeat, take this with me anywhere to content create on the go. You can learn more about this Yoga Slim 7 Pro X via the top link in this video's description. That's all for this one. Once we post our follow-up video, I'll have that linked in this video's description, but if you're watching this one as it's going live, well, you have to wait just a few weeks. I think we can make it. It's gonna be tough, but I think we can get there. If you like this one, thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one. My name is Greg. Thanks for learning with me.